Pastor Peter was a name that rang across the city like a divine bell. Crowds flooded his church every Sunday, desperate to see the miracles he performed. The blind regained sight, the lame walked, and barren women bore children, all by his touch. His fame spread far and wide, and his congregation swelled into the thousands. People called him a man of God, but behind the veil of righteousness, Pastor Peter was a man steeped in darkness. Years ago, in his early ministry, Peter was a struggling preacher with no followers and no hope. Desperate for power, he sought the help of a notorious native doctor. The price for success was steep. He had to sacrifice someone he loved dearly. Peter lured his fiancée, Esther, to a secluded location under the pretense of a prayer retreat. There, he took her life, her screams echoing into the empty night. With her blood on his hands, the native doctor assured him, "From today, your words will move mountains. But remember, the dead don't sleep forever." And so, Pastor Peter rose to fame. His charm and charisma were as potent as his miracles. Women, married and single, threw themselves at him, and he gladly indulged. The pulpit was his throne, and the world was his playground. One Sunday morning, as he welcomed first-timers to his church, his eyes landed on her, a stunning young woman named Clara. She was different, her beauty radiated purity and strength, and her smile was disarming. Pastor Peter felt something stir within him. This one, he thought, will be mine. After the service, he asked the ushers to collect Clara's details. He personally called her the next day, inviting her to his house for spiritual guidance. Clara politely declined. Undeterred, Peter tried again and again, but she always had an excuse. Her resistance only fueled his obsession. One evening, Clara was walking back from a friend's house when she noticed a woman sitting by the roadside. The woman had a strange, ethereal glow. And her face carried a sorrowful beauty. Clara, intrigued, stopped to ask if she was okay. The woman looked up, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "My name is Esther," she said in a voice that seemed to echo. "I was Pastor Peter's fiancée. He killed me to gain his powers. I have been wandering, seeking justice. Please, help me." Clara recoiled in shock. "How can I help you?" she whispered. Esther's spirit knelt before her. "Allow me to inhabit your body for a short time. Together, we can expose him and bring him to justice." Amara hesitated but felt an overwhelming sense of duty. "Okay," she agreed. "But only for justice." From that day, Clara felt an unusual strength within her. Her words carried a weight she had never known, and she found herself drawn to Pastor Peter's church more often. One fateful afternoon, Pastor Peter invited a pregnant woman to his office for counseling. But instead of prayers, he began a sinister incantation, muttering words and sprinkling strange powders. Unbeknownst to him, Clara had followed him, her steps guided by Esther's spirit. She burst into the room, her phone recording everything. The pregnant woman screamed and fled, and Clara confronted him. "Your sins have found you, Pastor Peter," she declared, her voice resonating with Esther's presence. The congregation gathered outside, drawn by the commotion. Clara played the recording for everyone to hear, exposing his dark rituals. As the crowd turned on him, Peter tried to flee, but his legs failed him. He began to laugh hysterically, clutching his head as madness overtook him. He confessed to killing his fiancée Esther, and taking advantage of the female that came in contact with him. The once revered pastor was found wandering the streets days later, filthy and raving. His church was abandoned, his congregation scattered, and his name became a cautionary tale. Clara, free of Esther's spirit, found peace in knowing she had done the right thing. Justice had been served, and the darkness that had plagued the city was finally vanquished.